of us on the Sports Show. Time to talk about umpiring. Of course, it was umpire appreciation round last week in the SANFL, so we've gone to the master, Shane Harris. I don't know whether we call you the umpire leader, the coach now. Have you got a title down there? Does it change every year,
It's
Shane?
Actually head of umpiring.
Head of umpiring.
Yes.
All right, I would have called you umpire's coach,
too,
mate.
Phil.
But 26 years in the seat, mate, so you've had a fair run in there. You've seen a lot change. What keeps you motivated after 26 years?
It's amazing, Phil, and I still love it, just to watch young people aspire, develop, not just as humans, but in their trade as an umpire. And then you sit back on a Friday night watching me on AFL footy. We had 2 years ago over in Perth, we had Craig Fleer do the grand final. Only the second person outside Victoria to actually do a AFL grand final. So, yeah, pretty easy to do.
Mate, I was going to chat with you before we came on air, and I've had a chat with some of the other umpires through the year of the SANFL when I see them. I said, if there was one rule you guys could change, that you all wanted to change, that you're unanimous on, what would it be?
I would eliminate the bounce.
All of them say that. Why? Why is it the bounce?
All but I'd say half a dozen that do it really well.
Yep.
I think, Phil, the reason why is I think the added pressure. I think our responsibility is actually to get the decisions right.
Yep.
And the bounce will eliminate a lot of pressure on the umpire. He puts a poor bounce up. Next time the ball comes in, that's all he's worried about. It becomes a time bomb.
Does it have to be universal, though? Because would the AFL say if you can't bounce, you can't come up and play with us?
Correct.
Yep.
So our ruling at the moment is if you aspire to AFL footy, then you need to bounce. If you're not aspiring to AFL footy, or you've been to AFL and come back with us, which we get a lot of umpires come back to our environment, you can throw it up. And it actually gives them longevity in the game as well.
What's the difference here, Shane, between the AFL and the SANFL now? There's so many rules now and so many changes to rules, which is driving people mental. Everybody I talk to is the same. I've not heard one person say, well, that's a good rule. Not one person. What's the difference now between the SANFL and the AFL, given that that they bring in the no stand, the dissent, all this, what's that silly one with the outside player running past them and all that?
The stand rule, protected area.
The protected area thing. And all, what is going on with our game? But the difference between SANFL and AFL right now, with you guys, you don't umpire the same as the AFL.
It's an interesting question. The only really differences we have is we've got last possession. So the ball goes out of bounds last possession.
Which is a good one.
Should be in every competition.
Yes.
Eliminates the deliberate. And we've got 25 metres instead of 50.
Yeah.
So umpires are more prepared to pay 25.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt the game as much as well as paying a 50. And we don't call for nominations in the ruck. You know, you'll sit there on a Friday night and all you hear is who's going up for Port, who's going up for Crows. So we don't have that. You send two players up, we'll penalise you.
Do we have dialogue with the AFL over all this? I mean, are they saying to you, you should have this 50 or you should not have the out of bounds rule? Or?
We've got our own laws committee that looks after that. Yeah. We're in dialogue with the AFL's laws committee as well. We generally get together once a year via Zoom and discuss those issues. But we will always be doing what we believe is the best for our competition.
Yeah. Bump?
Yeah, you can bump. Don't bump them in the head. It's interesting, and I was saying to Phil earlier, I watch a lot of SANFL football, SANFL footy, and I don't notice it that much.
Yeah.
The players are more attuned to tackling, and remembering a lot of our players have to get up Monday morning and go to work. So even the way we umpire, we're a lot more protective of that ball player.
Yeah.
If in doubt, our golden rule is give it to the ball player.
I've watched a fair bit of SANFL this year, as well as AFL, obviously. And I'm enjoying the SANFL more. And I don't know why. I mean, I love the AFL. I think it's a great game. But I really think that they are hurting us. They're hurting the game. But when you watch the SANFL, it just seems like a different game of footy to me. It just seems like it's a tougher game. Yeah. That's just what it looks like. That's only from a person standing on the hill, if you like.
I reckon it really comes back to, and I was fortunate enough to go back to uni ages ago and study sports coaching, and it comes back to philosophies. Have a philosophy for that interpretation. So if I use holding the ball, at the moment, if in doubt, pay holding the ball, because we want the ball kept in motion. So what happens then is if I can get 15 of my or 12 or 13 of my umpires out of the 15 doing that, then all of a sudden we're consistent.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so from that point of view, I use the philosophy, err on side of the ball player. If in doubt, a 50-50 call, give it to the ball player.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden we've become consistent, and we have a golden rule: if they want to play footy, don't get involved.
Yeah.
Don't blow the whistle.
You know,
Let them go.
It's like a bit like the dissent rule, isn't it? It's a bit like that now, where a player, it's a natural instinct for a player to go, oh, come on. If he didn't make an error, if the ump's made the error, what I'm saying, and the player is there and he goes, oh, come on, is that worth 50? Is that worth a goal? Because most of the time it's a goal, 50 metres. Because this is going to happen every single match, and it's going to happen at a time, I'm afraid, that's going to
cost them.
Give a team a final. It's going to gift a team a final. Stop it. Leave our game alone.
Yeah.
I just don't like that one.
It's interesting. We discussed it at our Laws Committee, and we elected not to bring it in.
Yeah.
The feedback I get from the umpires is generally the rapport between players and umpires, and this is because they're not mic'd, probably less pressure, the game's not as quick. The rapport between the players and umpires are generally pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And that's what I like.
Yeah. There's a bit of banter. There's a communication, two-way street. So all of a sudden that dissent isn't an issue.
Yeah.
We might see it occasionally.
Yeah.
But geez.
But if you abuse an umpire, I don't mind the ump going bang. Here's 50 or 25. I don't mind that at all. But if a guy just goes, oh come on.
Yeah.
Really, he's having a go at himself, or he's having a go, whatever. Then.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. A lot of the times we can pay a free kick.
Yeah.
We can pay the 25-metre penalty, 50 in the AFL. A lot of times we don't do it, and that's what causes the dissent.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Nip it in the bud early.
Quick, Brett, get in quick, because Baz is a bit passionate about this.
Come on. We could talk about this all day. We're a bit fired up here. But I'd love to know what makes a good umpire, like personality traits. Is there anything that you look for?
We look for strong-willed people. I use a Neil Craig example that he taught me was, you give me a good person, a really good person, we'll teach them how to umpire. So a good person, commitment, dedication, got a bit of resilience. And we're talking 15, 16-year-old male, females now. You give me a good person, we'll do our best to make you into a good umpire. No different to really any sport.
Mate, just quickly, because we couldn't get in because Baz just had you.
Loved it.
We love his passion, mate. The women's side of footy's exploded, and of course, as that explodes, you need more umpires. How difficult is it trying to keep up with that massive growth?
Yeah, and you would have heard the AFL, Brenton Sanderson, our new community umpiring manager for the AFL, come out and say we're 6,000 short. I reckon it's up around 9,000 or 10,000 nationally. Wow. We're doing okay here from a juniors point of view, recruitment. If I use Adelaide Footy League, their numbers are about the same as the last couple of years. But there are pockets out there that we are really struggling because of the female side of footy has taken off, which is amazing and fantastic to see.
Mate, if I want to umpire, if I'm watching the show now, or parents watching it, how do we get involved to become an umpire?
Jump onto the SANFL website, go to the umpiring component. We run what we call basic umpires courses, and they're free. So jump on there, register, and there'll be one around the corner.
Hey Shane, really appreciate your time, mate. I would have thought with all the advice I've heard in the last couple of weeks out at the footy, there's plenty of umpires out in the stands, mate, because they clearly know all the rules. So always appreciate your time, mate, and great job that you're doing. Stay with us still. Plenty to come on the show.